Hey everybody, and welcome back. This video is for our apprentices to assist them with filling out their apprentice agreement form. So apprentices, you will most likely need the assistance of your employers. There is a section for your employer to fill out. They'll also need to sign the agreement. There's also a mentor section. So you'll need to make sure that both of those participants are available and can assist you with filling out this agreement form. So before we get started, I do want to make a special note to these two reference materials up here before we get started. The first one is the voluntary disability disclosure. If you need to disclose any type of disability to the Registered Apprenticeship Program, to the Governor's Office of Early Childhood, there is a form here that is available at any time. You can come and disclose this disability, and it's always available to you. And then, of course, what we can do is we can refer for accommodations. We can assist you with those next steps. The other reference material is the Equal Opportunity Employment Pledge. So all of our employers have to be equal opportunity compliant. We just want you to understand that equal opportunity employment is in place in this apprenticeship. So please take a moment to read that pledge. So now let's go on to the required forms topic. The required forms for the apprentices is the apprentice agreement form, the apprentice Chromebook request. And again, if you're going to be participating in that wage increase and milestone achievement program, and you're going to be receiving milestone achievements from the governor's office, then you need to make sure that you have your own individual registration number and form. You'll find the form on this link. So let's go ahead and go to the apprentice agreement form. I'm going to click on the assignment. Again, this blue means that it's an assignment. It has a due date of January 3rd. I'm going to view the instructions here. Please read these instructions. Once you complete and submit the form, a copy of the form will be sent to the email you used. You're going to print that form out. You'll need to sign and date that form and then scan and upload the signed form to the Upload Apprentice Agreement assignment. Again, we will also need an additional signature from your employer. So whenever you print that form, be sure that your employer is signing it as well. Our forms are not valid unless they are signed with a signature. I'm going to access the apprentice agreement form by selecting that link, and it's going to take you straight to the form. Now, remember, this is going to serve as your official Department of Labor registration agreement form. This is what's going to give you access to your journey worker credential once you complete the program. So please be sure that you read this carefully. We're going to start with the email. And again, you want to be sure that whatever email address you're using, you can access it because a copy of it will be sent to you. Enter employer business name exactly how it's listed on the employer partner agreement. Again, please work with your employer, your business owner, to ensure whatever they've put on their agreement form, it's going to match. We have lots of employers that have very similar names, lots of employers that are in different areas of the state, but with the same name. So as much identifying information as possible, and consistency is what we're looking for. I always do Kayla's kids. And that's what I put on the employer partner agreement. Apprentice first name, you want to be sure this is your actual legal name. Middle name and last name. Mailing address, so this is where you would receive mail. City, state, zip code. So this is the county that you reside in, so where you live, and it could be different than where you work. Phone number with area code. Social Security number, you'll notice that this isn't a required, it's an optional field, but we do recommend, we do, encourage people to put their Social Security numbers down just for validity reasons. It just helps with validity, but it is completely optional. Date of birth. Oh, you guys are going to see my real age. Sex. Employment status. So you can ask your employer what your status would be because it's completely up to your employer how they categorize your status as a new employee or a current employee. Typically, if you're just hired on, or maybe you're going through a probationary period, you would be considered a new employee. Current employees, of course, are those that are actively working there. They've probably been on the payroll for after that probationary period. I'm going to go ahead and put that I'm a current employee. Ethnicity, race, veteran status, and then you can select all the credentials that you have earned here. I have other bachelor's degree. What apprenticeship opportunity are you participating? So I can only select one, and here's the occupational chart. Just as a reminder, you definitely want to work with your employer, make sure that you guys are on the same page about what occupation that you're going to be in. If you have any questions about that, please reach out to us so we can assist you with identifying the correct occupation for you. Please also notice that there is an adult and high school option for our child care development specialist. I'm going to go ahead and put adult child care development specialist down. What is your shirt size? Apprentice wage scale. So it's highly recommended that you read the review material available under WEMA as well as under the Registered Apprenticeship Basics. There's an assignment called What is a Wage Scale? And you can actually access it. You can go back because your form will open in a new tab. So you can go back and review any of the material as you're filling out the form. But you can see down here, it says, what is a wage scale? It's under Registered Apprenticeship Basics. I highly recommend you guys look at that so you understand what's happening as far as wage scales and schedules. So I'm going to go back to the form. Essentially, you pick which wage scale you fall into. Down here at the bottom, our wage scales have such a large range that your wage should fall into the wage scale. So I've selected child care development specialist. So as long as my starting wage, or as long as my wages in general, pardon me, as long as my wages in general are between 725 and 1569, then I'm going to meet that wage scale. If you don't, it's totally fine. Just get with me, Kayla, and we'll develop a wage scale for this occupation for your employer. It's not a problem at all. But essentially, what you will need to do, I'm going to select child care development specialist. Again, if it's not within range, just contact me, but you're still going to have to make an option. So just make the option that your occupation is, and then reach out to me. Please enter the starting wage for the individual apprentice completing this form. The starting wage is the current wage the apprentice receives. So it's what you are receiving right now, day one, month one of your registered apprenticeship program. So I'm going to put $13 an hour. Please enter the journey worker wage for the apprentice completing this form. The journey worker wage is the wage of an experienced worker, and that an experienced worker would expect to make. Journey worker wages, they may be different for each apprentice. So a journey worker wage for this particular person may be different than the journey worker wage for another child care development specialist that's at a different point in their wage scale, a different starting wage. They may have different qualifications. It's just whatever this experienced worker could be or could make. So for this one, I'm going to put 15. Wage progression. All apprentices must receive at least one wage increase during their apprenticeship. So what you have to do or what your employer needs to do is please describe and note the wage progression for the individual apprentice completing this agreement form. So, for example, child care development specialist apprentices will receive 4 50-cent raises depending on the hour after completing every 1,000 hours for a total of $2. You may not do that. You may do something different. So the wage progression for child care development specialists for Kayla's kids, I think I actually specialist. This is what I would do. I would write the occupation down. It's child care development specialist. Um, and I think it was 1 50-cent raise at the end of apprenticeship. So that tells me what the occupation is. It tells me how many, it tells me how much, and it tells me the duration. So it's meeting all of the aspects of this wage progression. So we essentially just need to know how this apprentice is going to progress through the apprenticeship through their wages. As a participating employer partner, I understand all participating apprentices must receive at least one wage increase during their apprenticeship. Again, we need to verify yes. Business employer name. So again, you want to enter that same name. Business mailing address. So your employer's mailing address. So whatever they have put down. Let's see. I'm gonna say 456 Tiger Way, Warfield, Kentucky. County again. So this is the county of your business, where you are completing your on-the-job training. So I'm going to put Martin again. Are the wages paid during the apprentice's related technical instruction? Remember, related technical instruction is going to be webinars. It's going to be classroom training inside of a college, maybe. It could be any type of delivery methods. If you are paid during any related technical instruction hours, so even if you are paid for some but not for all, go ahead and select yes. There is that unsure button, and if we need to have a conversation, that's totally fine. Just reach out to me and we can do that. No, thank you. Will the apprentice also be participating as a mentor in a dual role? So here are the mentor requirements. You must have a CDA or higher, 3 or more years experience in childcare. Meet the definition of a journey worker, which is somebody that's an expert in the field as determined by the employer partner, or somebody that's already completed a registered apprenticeship. And they must also fill out that mentor part of the application. So here's a little bit more information about participating as an apprentice and a mentor. I have selected child care development specialist. So because of my occupation, I'm going to select no. If you need any assistance with this question, just feel free to reach out. Will you, the apprentice, and or your mentor need assistance with coordinating related technical instruction? So if you are, depending upon your occupation, if you're taking college classes, if you're needing to go gear towards your CDA, your director's credential, if you're needing assistance with coordinating that, we are referring all of our apprentices and our mentors to Child Care Aware professional development coaches. So they'll receive your name and your email as well as your registered apprenticeship occupation, and they'll be reaching out to you to assist you with that related technical instruction. I'm going to go ahead and select yes. Now, if you select no, that's totally fine. When they reach out to you, just send them something back and say, thank you so much, but I'm not interested and I've got it. So that's all that's needed. Here's our mentor section. Please have your assigned mentor assist with the below questions. So who is your mentor? What's their first name? I'm going to put Rebecca down. She's my mentor. Last name. Mentor email. Please check below if the mentor has mentored past cohort apprentices. Essentially, if a mentor has previously been in other cohorts and they have mentored other apprentices, that's where you would check this box. So Rebecca has. Does the mentor meet the eligibility requirements? So I've read over these. I'm going to select yes. Does the mentor meet participation requirements? So mentors must meet the definition of a journey worker. Someone's completed a registered apprenticeship program, has extensive on-the-job work training and work experience determined by their employer. Mentors may only mentor apprentices who are at a lower level of experience and expertise than they are as determined by the employer partner. Um, Employer partners are required to maintain a one-to-one ratio during the mentor's initial 2,000 hours. Following the mentor's completion of 2,000 hours with their first apprentice, the program permits a mentor to apprentice ratio of up to 4-to-1. So yes, Rebecca meets those requirements. Are you related to your mentor? I'm going to select no, but if you select yes, just please describe the relationship, the familiar relationship between you and your mentor. We will contact you if you are participating in WEMA to determine what that eligibility is going to be. So that's what that question is, but I'm going to select no. Will the mentor also be participating as an apprentice? So is your mentor also participating as an apprentice? Right now, Rebecca's not. If you're unsure, please get with your employer, please get with your mentor and ask them this question because we really need to know. If you can't find out and you mark this unsure, we'll be reaching out to figure it out. What is your mentor's shirt size? And then apprentice agreement, please read and review definitions and instructions. So essentially on this page, it's going to give you all of the definitions of the agreement form. So you can read over these. I highly encourage it. It's also going to give you the name and address of the governor's office, which is the sponsor of the apprenticeship. The related technical instruction provider, there are several of them, but they go under the umbrella of the governor's office. Again, if you need more information, feel free to reach out. Um, it gives you more information about hours when related technical instruction is provided. It is provided during and both during and not during work hours. Pardon me. This is the sponsor complaints. So if you ever have any type of complaint with the registered apprenticeship program, here's the contact information for our designated person. Here is the staff. We'll be adding to this. We've just added a new staff member. So we'll be adding some additional communications about this. This part right here is actually going to be completed by the governor's office. They'll write down, you know, whenever your apprenticeship begins, whenever it ends, things like that. And then I'll sign off on it. So nothing's needed on this page. You're just going to select the next button. So there are two steps to complete in order for this apprenticeship acceptance agreement to be officially registered. First, you need to complete the form and submit it, which is what we're getting ready to do. And then what's going to happen is a copy of the form will be emailed to the address used. You're going to print the form and sign and date on the lines below, so on the lines that are provided. Then you will scan and upload this form to the Upload Apprentice Agreement Form assignment. So it's not valid until we get that uploaded assignment with the signatures, the wet signatures from this agreement form. So you can read and review this. This is the certification page. Please acknowledge you understand the following. The agreement is required to register you as an official Department of Labor registered apprentice. Once you've completed and submitted the form must be printed, signed, and submitted via upload to the Upload Apprentice Agreement. Agreements will not be considered complete, and apprentices may not start until all required signatures and supporting documentation are collected. I understand I must submit this form with a digital signature or wet signature. And this is what the assignment looks like. You can actually go to the apprentice assignment and you can see if you click this, it's going to take you directly to the upload. And this is where you're going to upload that downloaded copy that's been signed. I want to go ahead and exit out and go back to the agreement. and attest yes. Please acknowledge this agreement is required to register you as an official Department of Labor registered apprentice. Again, you have to upload this form. And here's where you're going to sign it. But again, only sign when the document is printed. You can go ahead and date it if you want. If you are a minor, so if you're a youth participating, we will need the signature of your parent or guardian. And then the employer is going to sign here. And then this is where somebody from the governor's office will sign. It would be Rebecca. So I can go ahead and submit this. Remember, I'm not going to submit it with any signatures, but it's still submitted. There's no other action really needed on this. Again, it's going to give you just some information about how to print the form and then upload it. I'm actually going to show you that right now. So remember, you're going to get a copy of the form. So I need to access my email. I'm going to find my Gmail. Maybe. There it is. And right here is Apprentice Agreement. I'm going to go up here to print. And it is going to be a long document. I apologize. I'm going to I am a work from home employee, so I do not have a printer. So I'm going to save it as a PDF, but I am going to show you the upload, just so you understand that. So if you are printing, you would just select the printer and then print it. Instead, I'm saving this as a PDF. I'm doing a digital signature. And I'm going to save it as my name. It's just much easier on the administrative side for us if we have everybody's names. And I'm paying attention to where I'm saving it because I'm going to have to go find this document. I'm finding it, I'm saving it in the downloads. I'm going to go to my downloads. And I located the document. Apologies. I'm going to have to open it with Adobe. If you don't do it, if it has this little icon, it usually will open it on the web and you can't modify it. Okay. So, oh, okay. Sorry about that. And I don't know how to edit, so apologies that you're not going to get any of that cut out. So I have to select open with Adobe because what I had selected was editing and that's not what I needed. So open with Adobe. And there we go. Woohoo, we did it. So now I'm going to scroll down. Here's my apprentice agreement. It's opened in Adobe. It's opened in that PDF. So I'm going to do a digital signature down here at the bottom. So I'm going to scroll all the way down here to the bottom. Only sign here when the document is printed. Digital signatures are acceptable. So here's my digital signature. There we go. I've went ahead and put in the date. I'm not a minor. And then the employer will need to sign. So you may need to create an additional signature. And then they also date the document. Again, this is the governor's office of early childhood staff. So it's already been saved once, but remember to save your signatures, you have to save it again. Now the document is saved with the signatures. I'm going to go back to my Google Classroom. And I'm going to, even though it's right here, so I can access the assignment either this way or I'm going to back out and go back, or I can access it this way. This is where I'm going to upload that printed copy or that digital signature PDF copy. So add or create, and I'm going to add or create a file. I'm going to go to browse. I want to go here because remember I saved my file. I have the previewer on, but you'll see here is where the signatures are, so I know it's the correct one. I'm going to open it. And it's going to take it a second to, I'm going to turn it in. So here now it is being uploaded to this assignment. And in order for it to be turned into the governor's office, I select turn in. One attachment will be submitted. Turn in. So that's the only form that you have to do like that. The Chromebook request is very simple. You don't have to do anything fancy. Email. Be sure that your emails are up. Your name, your address for the Chromebook. I will be very honest. I don't know if these are shipped. I think these are shipped to the business. Oh, sorry. Then you just want to print. You just want to make sure that you acknowledge this. We don't need anything fancy, and that's all. You won't be issued that until later, until whenever you're right getting ready to start, and we've already received your apprentice agreement form and it's been approved. So you submit that. You don't want to submit another response. This is your own Google Classroom. And then, of course, be sure that you and your mentor both have filled out that easy vendor registration. Um, we cannot provide technical support for easy vendor registration. There is a contact us at this website, an email address, and you're welcome to ask them for assistance, but it's a different portal and we don't have access to any technical support ourselves. But you do definitely need a number if you're participating in the Wage Increase and Milestone Achievement Program. Thank you all so very much. I appreciate your all's time. Best of luck. Congratulations. And I can't wait to see you with your official registration. Have a good day.